It's a beautiful Tuesday morning, very chilly, and what better day to talk about pension schemes? Because what would you be doing 50 years from now, 40 years from now, with a pension on a chilly Tuesday morning? Where would you be? How would you be spending your money? So that's the conversation we want to have today. So what is a pension scheme? A pension scheme is an avenue that allows you to save for your retirement, and when you reach that retirement age, you are able to use that money that you have accumulated over the years to do whatever you want, however you want. Now in Kenya, we have different types of pension schemes, or we have very many variations of the same. Now the first and the most common is the NSSF. The NSSF applies to anybody who is formally employed. Now, what happens is that there are two tiers to NSSF. Tier 1 covers 0 to 9,000 shillings of your income, and 6% of that is deducted and taken to NSSF. The second tier applies to between 9,000 shillings and up to a maximum of 108,000 shillings. So if you earn less than that, but you're in that category, so just imagine between 9,000 and if you earn 50,000, 50,000. Now 6% of that can either go to NSSF or to your preferred pension scheme. Now that is the part a lot of people do not know. So not all that money has to go to NSSF. You have the option of transferring your tier 2 to any other preferred pension scheme. The second type of pension schemes that exist in Kenya is DC and DB. DC is defined contribution and DB is defined benefit. So DC, the defined contribution, you know how much you're contributing on a regular basis, but as at retirement, you don't know how much you're going to have. Now that is the opposite with DB. DB, defined benefit, means that at retirement, you know how much you're going to walk away with. And this applies to a lot of workplaces where they tell you when you retire, we're going to give you this lump sum amount of money. So that is DC and DB. Now we have occupational schemes. These are schemes that are provided by a company. So this only applies to the staff in that company. We also have individual pension schemes. So this can work either in the formal sector or informal sector. A lot of institutions provide these schemes. So what you do is just go to one of these pensioners and tell them you want to start contributing towards your retirement. Now you're going to be doing this on a regular basis as you see fit. The other type of scheme is the umbrella scheme. So for a lot of companies, maybe they do not want to start their own scheme. What they will do is they will go to an umbrella pension scheme, basically a scheme that caters for a lot of people, a scheme that caters for a lot of schemes. So that is the umbrella scheme. Now we also have another term known as provident and pension. When you go register for these schemes, there's something that you need to know: provident and pension. So provident means that at retirement, you get a whole lump sum. You get the full amount of how much you've been saving over time for retirement. Now the pension version, you will get a percentage as lump sum, and the rest you are able to get it as an income for a period of time. So you get this amount as a lump sum, and the rest now comes as a salary. Now we have another one called the income drawdown. So this one allows you to withdraw your money up to 12% annually. But the catch is you need to have put your money for a minimum of 10 years before you're able to start withdrawing, and to a maximum of 12% of what you've been saving annually. So those are a lot of terms that you really need to know when you're thinking about pension schemes. Now, when we're talking about pension schemes, we're thinking about retirement. What is the retirement age? So a lot of these pension schemes allow you to withdraw your money when you reach the earliest retirement age of 50 years old. That doesn't mean that you can't withdraw your money earlier. You are allowed to withdraw your money earlier. It's just that, number one, it's going to be taxed more. There may be some penalties for withdrawal, and you won't get the full benefit of what you're supposed to be getting when you retire. But there are some cases where, for example, you have a job loss, something happens and you need that money urgently. Pension schemes give provisions for that. So whichever pension scheme you decide to register with, these are things that you're supposed to discuss with them beforehand. Now, what happens if I am in this job, I decide to switch jobs, and I had already started saving in an occupational scheme? Maybe the scheme was for the company. What happens? You are allowed to transfer your pension from one scheme to another, and a lot of them allow you to do this for free. So that is not something that you should be worried about. You don't have to stick to one pension scheme if you see another that adds value. Now, these schemes, because they want to protect your money until retirement, they usually are divided most times into two. We have the guaranteed funds and we have the segregated funds. Guaranteed funds, just with its name, it means that they guarantee you a percentage. So a lot of the schemes I've seen guarantee you around 4 to 5% interest. So no matter what happens, they will give you that 4 to 5%. Now, segregated funds basically means that they carry more risk, they have higher returns. So also when you're getting into these pension schemes, understand what exactly they're investing in. Is it a guaranteed fund or is it a segregated fund? That being said, think of pension schemes like any other investment avenue. What do they invest in? They invest in government bonds, they invest in equities, they invest in properties. So you'll see some element of risk, but you'll also see some element of a safety net. So they're not just going to throw your money everywhere. Yeah, these are mainly the places that they invest in. So a lot of schemes, as much as they're guaranteeing you that 4%, 5%, you'll see that their returns are averaging what maybe money market funds offer, the 10%, the 8%. So also, when you join a pension scheme, start looking at their performances. What is their annual return? What is their average return? So number one, check their returns. Number two, check which fund exactly are you entering. Is it a guaranteed fund, segregated fund? When you're registering, what is the end goal? Do you want the lump sum or do you want to get a consistent salary? That is where the provident and the pension come in. Also ask about withdrawal. If something happens, how am I able to access my money? How soon am I able to access my money? Am I going to be penalized to access my money sooner than I had expected to? And that was the retirement age. So this is just the beginning of pension schemes. I hope you have learned something, one or two things, and let's start saving for our future so that on a chilly Tuesday morning, you can decide what to do with your time. You can decide where you want to go, how you want to spend your money, because you can afford it. Remember, you don't need to be in formal employment to start saving in a pension scheme. Anybody can go to a lot of these firms offer pension schemes. Just go say that you want to register in a pension scheme. They will explain to you those things. Then you can start saving consistently. A lot of them don't really have a minimum amount. It depends on where you are at whatever stage in your life. Later, you can choose to increase or decrease the amount of money that you save. Thank you.